I am in my UiPath studio and we are discussing the best practices which a developer should follow while writing an automation. And today I am going to discuss something about which is using of delays. Let's start by taking an example. Let's say I am writing an automation where I have to download something from a browser. So I take a click activity, I selected on the click and the report start downloading. While the report was downloading, I noticed that during the development, the report is taking approximately up to let's say 1 minute or 2 minutes to download, and then I can actually go and perform the save operation. So one usual way is that we go here and we take something which is called delay activity. I drag and drop the delay here and I put the delay accordingly that okay, so my report is taking 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Let me just put 3 minutes delay and then I write the automation here, which is to let's say save the automation, right? So this complete sequence may be to save the automation. Now, is this the best practice? The answer is no. Because just think of a scenario here, it is taking 3 minutes. What happens when you change the environment and it takes more than 3 minutes? Let's say 5 minutes, then your automation will break because this sequence would expect that the download material is available. The other thing which would happen is that let's say if it is taking 1 minute in the next environment, so you are unnecessarily waiting 3 minutes here. Now, what is the best practice? The best practice is to use the activities such as element exist. Okay, I just go here and I take an activity which is called element exist like this. Once I click on this, I can use this activity which is called element exist, and I would have to look for an element which appears on the screen if the download is ready. It can be a grid width of data, it can be any export symbol which is available, it can be the save button, any element which appears after the successful completion of operation. You can actually let UiPath to look for that element. That is called element exist. The same thing goes other way around, right? You can actually wait for the element to vanish as well. Now let's say you are on an automation where you clicked on some window and you have to wait for an operation where the element has to vanish. So you can use something like wait element vanish, on element vanish, on image vanish, and wait image vanish, right? So these are all the activities which are available which we can use instead of using the hard coded delays. Now the output of this activity is a boolean which gives you true and false. If the element exists is true, meaning that my save button is available, I can actually go and download this report. Now, whenever you are using this element exist and all this, right, the default timeout of all these activities is 30 seconds. Now, one question might arise that I want to increase this timeout and I'm not sure that what is my timeout. So should I go and hard code the value? The answer is again no. If you go to the element exist and all such activities, if you go to the properties, you have something which is called timeout. The default timeout is 30 seconds, but let's say taking our example, we know that it is taking approximately to 3 minutes. So as a buffer, I can put here 4 minutes time. Now before 4 minutes, if the report is downloaded and is available, it will perform the operation, otherwise it will skip. And the other thing, you should always keep these numbers configurable in a config file or assets, so that in case the environment behavior changes, you can control it from outside, right? So this timeout property has to be configured in the config file or in the assets, meaning tomorrow it increases to 5 minutes, so I can always come and change this in my config file without impacting my automation. One other thing with the activity is that let's say I want to have a pause of automation before and after performing some operation. This is actually applicable to all the activities which are doing the UI automation, meaning which are working on selectors, right? So take an example of this click. Now before doing this click operation, I want to wait for 3 seconds. One obvious way is to use the delay here like this. I'll just drag and drop it here. Okay, and after the click I want to again wait for, let's say, some 3 minutes. Is it a good way? The answer is again no, right? So in the click activities or in other activities which are UI based, in the properties you have something which is called delay before and the delay after, and which take the value in milliseconds. So let's say I want to wait for 3 seconds before I do the operation. So I go here and I write 3000. After the click is done, I want to wait for, let's say, 5 seconds. So I go here and I write 5000. Okay, again the same thing, this 3000, this 5000, the timeout, everything should be made configurable. Okay, that should be coming from a config file or something called assets in orchestrator, right? So that was the best practice you need to follow when you are working with delays. In case you don't understand all of these properties, I have a dedicated video. We are explaining all these common UI properties both in English and Hindi language. The link to the video is available in the bio. Also, dedicated video on real-time project best practices is also available. So check out the videos on the channel. Thank you for watching and happy automation.